Okay.
Okay, so we just wrote down the questions that you guys had commented, and then Ash and I just kind of split them up so that we both could address them and not waste time having our 2 cents on each question. Um, so I'll just get right into it. The first one was about money. I think M asked that question. And this was something that I kind of wish someone had asked me, or like I was able to think of to ask my coach right when I first started, because for my first challenge group, I remember the first person who messaged me, they said, "Hey, I'm interested. I just got your RSVP. How much is it for this program?" And I was like, "Oh, 160, smiley face." And then they didn't respond. I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't want to spend that money. But what I learned through trial and error and that happening is people like to find out like the reason that you're doing it. I mean, obviously they want to lose weight and they came to you because they want to learn how to eat better or to stick to their goals. But the reason that they came to you is because of why you're doing it and because you're doing it. So what you have to remember is when you're having these conversations with people, like you need to focus on that connection before you focus on the cost and the program and the shakes, because to them, all they're seeing is DVDs and shakes, and you're the one who has to create that quality for them. And if you can have the conversation the right way, by the time that you're done, the cost won't even matter. And I've had people say right away, "Hey, I want to join your group. How much does it cost to join? I'm kind of tight on money, so depending on how much it is, I'll know if I can do it or not." And the way that I kind of go about my conversations is I say, "Okay, well, let's narrow down a program that would be best for you, and then we can kind of go from there." So what I do is I just go through a Q&A. I mean, you guys have probably heard this 100 times, but I'll just reiterate it again. I always go through like a Q&A. So everything I do, I ask questions. I say, what are you currently doing? What type of exercise do you enjoy? And then I throw out yoga, dancing, cardio, weight training, because in our head, we're picking out, okay, well, she likes to do cardio. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, max 30, Beachbody On Demand, because there's a lot of cardio programs, and then maybe something different. But we don't shoot that right out to them because that's just something that we're going to hold on to while we're asking the questions. And then their eating habits, ask them how their eating habits are. Always I ask cravings, because if they have cravings, it's probably going to be sugar. So that when they say, "Oh, I have sugar cravings," you don't want to say Shakeology right away, but you're thinking in your head, okay, well, if they have sugar cravings, Shakeology will help them. So the more you talk to them, the more breadcrumbs you get on why all of these reasons why what we're doing and what you can help them is going to be perfect for what they're looking for. So then after I go through that, I just explain, okay, here's 3 programs that I think that you would like. You let me know which one that you would stick to most, and then we can go from there. So I break it down, basically everything that I know about each program, as if I'm talking to one of my best friends. So I'll say, like, for 21 Day Fix, for example, I'm like, this program has 30-minute workouts, so you can literally squeeze them in whenever. It's a no guesswork food portion control, and seriously, it's so helpful because I don't like to count calories. Like I just say things like that. And then they'll pick one, and I say, okay, and then this is what I send to them. And I kind of change the wording around, and I can send this to you guys. But I usually say, so let me break it down to you so you're not just hearing price, but everything you're getting. And then I break down the shake per meal. That's the first thing I do. So I'm saying the shakes equate to $4.30 a meal. And being in the real world, we all know that you can get a coffee from Starbucks for under $5, because that really puts it in perspective. So I literally say that to everybody. And if you can get a coffee for $5, they can spend $5 on their breakfast. And then I just say, so you'll get 30 meals in bulk for $130. So it doesn't sound as bad when instead of saying, oh, the whole thing is 140, you're breaking it down by like each individual meal. And then I break down everything that they would get like with the program. So for 21 Day Fix, I'd say you'd get the DVDs, the meal portion control containers, the free t-shirt at the end, the tote bag, and you get group support, my one-on-one coaching, access to all the recipes on the site for only $10 more. And I'm like, that's literally it. Like, I make it sound like it's almost stupid how cheap it is, because as how we're portraying it to them is how they're taking it. So if we're like, it's kind of expensive, like they're already going to think in the back of their mind, like, okay, well, I can't spend that much money. So I always break it down and list them, because like your coaching is what they're getting by buying a challenge pack from you. They can't get a challenge pack from the Beachbody website. They can't get a challenge pack from Amazon. So if they're just going to buy the program on Amazon for like whatever, $40, $50, because some Joe Schmo wants to sell a copied version of it, they're not going to get a coach. They're not going to get a group, which a group is what helps all of us stay accountable. They're not going to get access to the website. They're not going to have the shakes. And that's part of the reason why 21 Day Fix is so, it works so well in such a short amount of time. So all of these things that you guys know, don't be afraid to have that like one-on-one, like girl talk conversation with them. And then
not to interrupt you, Car, but if any of you have questions, like to go along with what we're saying, like you can unmute yourself. Don't feel like you can't. It's just so that we don't have background noise.
Yep. Yeah, so then basically from there, I mean, I don't usually have people say, oh, that's kind of expensive. They're like, wait, really? And then some people will say, you know, I might have to order next week or whatever when I get paid, or they'll ignore me. But at least you created that value. So you just put out like A, B, C, D, E of all the reasons why it lines up that they should be doing it, instead of just the money and them saying, well, I can get those stomach wraps for $70 instead of $140. And it's like, okay, well, I just told you all these things that are going to help you. So that's really it for the money portion. Does that help? And everybody else? Okay. Do you want me to do all mine, or do you want to go back and forth?
You can do yours, I guess.
Okay. Another question we had was how to get people posting in challenge groups. And I struggled with this for a long time, because I didn't really know how to be like the leader role in groups. I was always the one who led by example. So telling someone how to be and like rooting them on wasn't really me. I was just kind of like, I'll do it too. I'll post my picture so that you know I'm doing it. But I kind of wrote down, I think, 3 things. One, I always do a point system. So I think the second or third day I'll say, from now on, I'm going to post every day and how many points that post is worth based on the workout, if you drank your shake, and then the post in general. And this kind of gives them a reason to do it, because some people are like, you know, in the background, you don't know it, but they are committing every day and they are showing up every day and doing their workout, drinking their shake, eating healthy, but they don't feel the incentive to post it and take that extra minute to write and participate in the group. But as the group goes on and the more people participate, they realize that it's more encouraging when everyone is posting, when every day there's 10 comments instead of just 2, because it affects the entire group. And it becomes this domino effect of, okay, well, I'm getting one person commenting every day. You're not pumping anyone else up when it's just like Susie who's posting. So point systems I always do, and I'll explain to you guys if you want to know like how it works or the points or whatever. And like, I can explain to you guys how to do that and implement that into your groups. Also being interactive. When I first started, I want to say my first couple challenge groups, I would post my posts in the morning and then I wouldn't say anything to them for the rest of the day. So if someone says like, I'm really awkward in pictures, but here's my workout post, like it's good for them to see you say, hey, like, awesome job, or thanks for sharing. Or if someone says, you know, here's my picture of my food, and I didn't eat this and this and this at my graduation party, they like that extra pat on the back. So you showing up like a few more times throughout the day is really helpful for them, and they know that they're not giving you feedback and it's just being ignored. So being interactive even after your every morning post, that is always key. And what else did I write? Oh, I know Jackie told me this, which I thought was really smart, and I haven't implemented this yet, but she does kind of what we do in our team page. She has like a leader of the week of who the best challenger is of that week. So say you're showing up every day for the week, or you had like a goal that you hit for the week, or you worked out every day for the week. She kind of highlights one person, and that is in the back of their mind, like, oh, I want to be that next week. So then they try just as hard that next week. So that's also something that you can implement. And I also do mini challenges. So with the point system, my challenge days, I do more points for those days for people who participate. I do plank challenge, and just whoever has like the goofiest picture of plank challenge, I do that, which is fun. And I always love looking at the pictures, and it makes everybody else laugh. I do the bathroom challenge. So every time you go to the bathroom for that day, you do 10 squats all night. So like up until midnight. And then the next morning, people are like, I just did 110 and I can't like move my legs. But it's just funny because you're all doing the same thing and struggling together. What's another one that I do? Oh, we did a Shakeology speed challenge. So whoever could make their shake the fastest. And you don't get anything. I mean, you can do like a small prize, but if you're already doing the point system, someone is going to get a prize anyway. But I always do that, like, oh, who can make their shake the fastest? And then they videotape themselves, and like people spill stuff everywhere. And it's funny, and it kind of gets them like interacting with each other and getting to know each other, even though everyone is pretty much strangers. So that's the other thing that I do. And I think that's it. Do you have anything, Ash, extra on these? I know we always share ideas, but
I think we pretty much covered it all. I would just say, like, challenge groups, like, I have horrible ones sometimes I have great ones. You just have to, if people aren't posting, you have to eventually say, like, okay, you don't want to be wasting your time or other people's time. So if you've already, what I usually do, if it's been like even just a day or two and like nobody's posting or it's one person, I'll personally message all of the people in the group and just be like, hey, how's it going? I haven't heard from you. Just, remember that checking in and participating is only going to like help with your results. And then they'll usually say something. But if you've already done that, usually I will post in the group just a generic thing saying, okay, who really wants to continue this group no matter what day you're at. I mean, obviously you don't want people to quit the first day, but if people aren't taking it seriously, or like, you don't want to waste your time either, even though sometimes it's only like a minute in the morning to post your daily challenge. If people aren't posting, why even take that time? Like, you could start something different and find people that like see the value in it. So like straight up saying who wants to keep going, like, I don't want to waste your time or mine, that sometimes gets people like that, like lights a fire under them, like, oh crap, I was actually supposed to be like participating.
Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to like do tough love with them. Like, just like Ash was saying, I know we feel like we constantly have to be their cheerleader, but some people like to say, hey, text me every morning and make sure I'm doing it, or like make me at 5:00 if I didn't send you a picture yet of me doing my workout, like text me and make me do it. And there's some people that like that, like, no, you're not going to eat those 6 cupcakes, like, don't, you know what I mean? They sometimes need that.
Definitely.
And I've also noticed that people have a lot more feedback to videos. So if you guys want to do your morning posts as videos, or just do like something motivational at night for them, I think that will help too. But And then the last one that I was going to cover was your question, Tiff, about reaching out to people who aren't already using Beachbody products, about coaching, right? Okay. So I kind of struggled with this same thing because I've been adding people lately who are yoga instructors or people who work at a gym or trainers at a gym. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, you can have the best of both worlds, but how do we get them to see it? So I actually talked to my coach about this because I didn't want to offend someone by acting like I was like a know-it-all and, oh, I have something to offer that you don't already do. But basically just approaching it as signing up as a Beachbody coach, you can help them even when they're not in class. So if it's a person who goes to a training session and gets trained themselves, or if it's someone who trains the class itself, having the nutrition portion of it from our end with Shakeology and being able to coach and track your clients. So if you're a trainer, all of your clients, if you can say, hey, I know that we meet 4 times a week, but I could also track your progress if I know you're drinking Shakeology, or if I know that the days that you don't come in to train, you have something that you can do at home that I know and trust and whatever. And that's obviously once they sign up to coach. But a message that I just sent to a yoga instructor who is a girl that I went to school with, and I think that she would be a great coach. She's sweet. She posts all the time. She's in great shape. Just all of those things. So I messaged her and I just said, what did I say? I complimented her posts, complimented her recent yoga certification. I said it may sound crazy, might not be the right timing since you're just a fresh entrepreneur, but have you ever considered becoming a fitness coach? Lots of trainers, kind of like a yoga teacher, enjoy coaching me because they get to help their clients with their fitness and nutrition even when they aren't in class. Hearing that you're a teacher and how passionate you are about it makes me feel like you'd be an amazing coach. So just target what they're doing and what makes you think that they would be a great coach. Tell them those things and compliment them in the things that spark in your head. Oh my God, I would love if she was on my team. Why? Tell them that. Tell them why that you think that they would be a great coach. And then some people will say, well, I've never done the products before. And they won't feel comfortable relaying those those programs to their clients. And then you can just change the conversation to them back as a customer instead of as a coach. So maybe they do need to try the programs before. So then ask them, oh, well, do you do any cross training with your yoga? Or do you do any workouts at home when you're not in the gym? And connect on a level with them as if they were a potential challenger of yours. And then eventually that, once someone's a challenger, they obviously love the program, love the group community that we create here from all over the country, basically. And then they get a taste of it. So if people are saying to you, well, I've never tried the products, I don't think I could be a great coach. Shift your mindset as not, oh, that stinks, like they don't want to do it, but shift your mindset as, okay, well, now I'm going to keep in the back of my mind having a conversation with them as if they're interested in joining one of my groups and trying it for themselves. But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just kind of move on. We had a couple. This obviously November, December is a really busy time for everyone, because obviously with the holidays, people are thinking money in different ways for Christmas and things like that. So yes, this can be a slow time of the year, but I don't know if any of you watched the little video that I had posted last week, but you have to almost just change your mindset to it's going to be amazing no matter what, because if you think that it's going to be horrible and it's going to be so slow, then it probably is. So first off, just starting off saying that whatever your goal is, I think probably all of you are on a fall classic team. So if you set a goal with your team members, then that's going to be the goal that you reach. You shouldn't think that you're not going to reach it. It doesn't matter what day of the month it is. Like, just go into it like it's any other month or time of the year. But since it is such a busy time and a lot of people are going to say no, I know that I have gotten like no after no after no this month, but that to me just means that I need to be reaching out to even more people. Like, yes, I know I do this full time, so I'm home, so I have that luxury, but I'm also really busy just in everyday life. So it doesn't really matter, where you are, but showing that you make it work with what you're busy with. So for me, for example, obviously I'm a mom, so I'm really busy with my son, but I try to put those into my posts, and that also is showing the lifestyle for a lot of people. But I try to always put that into my posts, that even though, yes, I have a crazy toddler and I'm pregnant and I feel like crap most of the time, I still am able to turn it around and make time for it. Aiden likes to work out with me. He asks me to work out. So it's like sharing those things, that the kids don't always have to be sleeping for you to do it. Like, people just look for those right times, and it comes down to anything with joining a group. People look for that perfect, like, 3-week time span where they're not going to have anything to do, and that's just not realistic. It's never going to be like that. So just taking whatever is busy for you. Maybe this is your crazy time at your full-time job, or you're working extra hours, or you're constantly visiting family. Like, just throwing little jabs in your posts and showing that you are still fitting in your workouts, you're still making the time to eat healthy the best that you can, is just going to help other people see, like, oh, wow, I really am making excuses. Like, they're really busy too, and they're making it work. Like, but also showing that you're a real person, that you have a dessert or, something like that. Like, people want to see that. So, just really sharing like your life. And I know that was tough for me. Like, at first I thought I only had to share fitness related things, but people don't just want to see that. Those are the type of people that people look at and they think that they are just trying to sell you something, because they don't have anything real on their page. They're not showing their family. They're not showing what they like to do. Like, yes, this might be one of your hobbies or your jobs, but it's not your life. So you want to just sharing your day to day, like on Facebook, is not only going to attract more traffic to your posts, because I don't know if you guys know that Facebook actually can see they see what you post. They see whose pages you like and posts you like and things like that. And because you're constantly liking someone's posts or you're commenting on other people's things, that's why just engaging with someone is so important on their posts, is bringing your posts to the top of their timelines, and they are seeing your timelines more. So just kind of interacting more, even if you're not personally inviting people, and sharing your life is going to get more traction to your posts. Also, yes. What? Oh, I'm sorry. My husband has to go to work, so I'm moving rooms. Okay. Also, yeah, so just extending your reach. If you only have time to reach out to 3 people a day, try doing 4 or 5. Like, and maybe you have one day where you can only do 2, but then the next day you have a full hour, or maybe you're off one day. Like, take advantage of those small time spans, and just do it then. Like, I remember someone was saying that they take even like the 10 minutes that they're waiting to pick up their kids from school. Or for me, like when I used to work in the salon, if I had time in between clients, like I'd sit down and I'd answer messages. Whereas before I'm like, oh, I don't have time to sit here and like talk to them for an hour. But that's okay. It's okay if you don't have time to sit there and have that full start to finish, they bought the challenge pack conversation. Like, take those little 10-minute time increments and answer those questions, or shoot out an invite or something like that. So just finding those little bits of time is going to help you just to extend your reach and reach out to even more people. Also asking for referrals. I recently started doing this. It's a way you can also reach out to people if you're too nervous to do like that cold invite or to switch the conversation to Beachbody from just catching up with them. I've been sending a lot of just like, hey, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm starting a new group for the holidays, a fitness accountability group. I'm looking for 5 more women who could maybe benefit from losing 5 to 10 pounds before Christmas. Do you know anyone that would be interested? And so far, I've had some people say, yeah, I think I have a couple people. I'll ask them and I'll get back to you. I had someone today say, like, me. And I was like, oh, okay. So if you're scared to reach out to someone because you think that they're going to think that you think they need to lose weight or something like that, ask it that way, because then they can choose if it's something that they want to do, or they can see if they have friends or both that might want to. So ask for referrals or past challengers. I reached out to a couple of past challengers and said, I know you've had awesome success in a few of my groups. Do you have anyone else that could benefit from a group like what you did? And they've given me some people to add to my contact list. So that's been working. Also, let's see. As far as busy season, if you're just kind of working smarter, like we've mentioned before, every person that you talk to about a challenge group that wants to commit with a challenge pack, offer that discount membership, or offer it the way Car had talked about on our last team call, asking them at the end before you send the link, did you want to sign up as a coach or a customer, giving them the comparison of the price in their second month. And some people say customer is fine, and that's fine, but it's a really easy way to get a discount coach, and that's something that's going to build your volume, or it's going to help you advance rank. So asking that with everyone is kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone as far as recruiting and hitting Success Club. Let's see. Creative. As far as like creative posts, I would say that, again, just sharing your lifestyle, and then also making sure you're a part of the post. It doesn't always need to be like this huge photoshopped picture of a million things that are going on. It could simply just be a selfie of you smiling, or a nice picture or something like that. You can add a quote to it, or you can just write. It can just be the picture. And then having like good content that someone can relate to. You always want to like space your paragraphs out. You don't want them to have this huge chunk that they have to sit there and read, because people won't read it. And for your challenge groups, I would say you should be promoting them every single day in a small way. It doesn't mean join my group every single night or every single morning. But what I mean by that is and this is something that we got from Bonnie Engel. If you look at her posts, she, once again, always has just a picture of herself. It's always a selfie of just her, and she's like this spitball like of energy. But all of her posts will somehow tie you into the lifestyle of coaching and what it's done for her, without being like a salesy type post or about fitness. So she, in a small way, will just kind of throw in at the end, and I've been trying to do that too. How like you can put in it, simply like this post if you could use help with portion control or something like that. Like if you're posting about your meal that you made and how you made it with your containers, or as far as lifestyle, I post about how now I'm home with Aiden and I would be missing these certain things if I wasn't able to do this. And I've had someone message me. I was just telling Car before we joined, I had a girl message me and tell me that I was her role model, and that she wanted to be like me and be able to stay home with her son and motivate people and like that meant so much to me. I'm like, I don't even care if she joins as a coach, and I hope she does. But like, I've never really had anyone say that to me, but that's from, she said she's been seeing my posts, and I don't post a ton of like super, like I'll say pitchy, because I don't want to say salesy, because those help wanted and things like that are great, but posts like that. So just kind of, every single day in your post, like think about the content that it is before you press post, and just add like those little extra things to it. And then I would say every other night, or whatever you found is your target time that you get a good response rate, you should be talking about your challenge groups. If you're not getting people to promote them, if you're not doing enough through just personal invites, people need to see that it's going on, and they need to see that you're excited about it. Like, are you looking forward to the challenge group, or are you dreading it because it's holiday season? Like, people can sense those things. So you want to act like so excited for it. This is, it's going to be the best group you've ever done. Like, talk about things like that, because if people can see your excitement through your words or through your picture, then they're going to want to be a part of that. So basically just being confident in what you have to offer. Are there 800 million other Beachbody coaches? Yes. And have a ton of people said, oh, my friend does this, blah, blah, blah. But they're not you. They don't have what you can offer, and you need to be confident in what you're offering, and that your challenge group is the best, and this person's going to fit into it because of this, this, and this. So knowing your worth and having confidence in your posts and in your groups. I have found, and I think, do you think we should have them re-click it just quickly, since it's going to end in like 2 minutes once this does end? So this is going to end in like 3 minutes. So if you guys just want to re-click the link, just because I had one other thing to talk about, just like 10 minutes, then we'll let you guys go. But as far as like challenge group ideas, I've had more success with 21-day groups than 30-day groups. That's just my personal thing. I think people like the idea of 3 weeks. A lot of the times I find it's hard to keep people posting. They might, like Car had said earlier, they might actually still be doing it, but to get them still engaged in the group for 30 days is tough. So I've just been doing 3-week groups. Take advantage of the 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme being on sale. Don't limit yourself to those, because you can sell a higher end program. It's not impossible, but take advantage of those sales. And like me and Car are going to do a joint group starting on December 1st to the 22nd. So it's literally leading up right before Christmas. And we're going to be talking about how literally before the holidays, in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you can lose 5 to 15 pounds. Like, people want to know that they can do that. So just showing like those little things like that. Let's see. And just going back to like knowing your worth and stuff like that, I would have to say that probably majority of us did not join with just like someone saying, you should do this, here's the link, and then us purchasing it. I'm pretty sure that probably all of us questioned it. We looked at it. We had a reason why we shouldn't do it, or why we couldn't do it or afford it or something like that. But something in our mind changed as to why we wanted to do it and why it was worth it to us. So if you think back to why maybe originally you weren't going to join a group, or you weren't going to purchase a challenge pack, but what changed your mind, the person who invited you said to you that made something click in your mind to want to do it. Use that as an example. I relate to people all the time by saying, I didn't want to do this either, or something like that. Because truthfully, not many people just have the money. Like, I would say, some people do obviously, but a lot of the times you just find it somehow. If it's worth it to you, you're going to purchase it. It's the same thing. We could go out and spend $150 on clothes, no problem. But when it comes to investing in yourself, people question it. So just figuring out what changed your mind.